Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Yeah. Welcome to another edition of the Views from the Friend Zone podcast. It's your boy Real Talk More. Who I got in the building with me?
It's your boy Cliff Brockman now.
We have special guests. Allow them to introduce themselves.
Oh, we introduce ourselves?
Yes.
All right, I want it kind of like a setup.
Well, we got homies to the show.
Right.
The one and only Blueprint Live crew.
Right.
Very special guest.
Derek D-E-E, Blueprint Live.
And it's the humble snob, Miss Walker. Hi, everyone.
Yes. For those who don't know, the Blueprint Live, they have their podcast that come on every Wednesday at what time?
Wednesdays at 8:30
p.m.
Yes, and very good podcast. So I'm very happy and humbled to have you guys on.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
And now I want to put
it's a
you guys
pleasure.
on the hot seat because you guys usually run the show and you guys usually ask the questions and I get y'all insight.
We don't really do well as guests, but we'll try.
I'm pretty sure you're going to do your thing. And you know what? It was, watching the different aspects of what's going on with Tyrese this week had made me think of a lot of different, questions, right? And then also there was a cool poem someone had put on, and it was someone combating like we miss Kanye West, and it was saying like they was using his lyrics against him, different things.
I saw that.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, it was a girl.
It was a girl.
The lady did that. I saw that.
So it made me think about certain questions, and the first question was, which is a very popular line from his song "Gold Digger." And we all know that line. When he gets on, he leaves your ass for a white girl.
Yes.
And it started making me think like there's many aspects to that, right? It's not necessarily musicians. Sometimes it's athletes. Sometimes it's our brothers in the corporate environment, for one reason or the other. And I know sometimes you have strong opinions about things like that.
Oh, you know I do.
Exactly.
I have a lot to say.
So it was wonderful to have you guys as guests because, and you guys usually stand on the opposite side of the same spectrum, So I definitely wanted to have you guys, have input on this. So the first question, obviously, the first topic is when he gets on, he leaves your ass for the white girl. But the sub question is, why does it seem like a high amount of successful men of color marry white women? And we're going to have the
ladies first.
Ladies
you want
first.
me to go first?
It's always ladies first.
Why? I think a lot of it comes from self-hate. I feel like a lot of black... Yeah, I said it.
Y'all gonna go at it.
I said it. A lot of black men don't value themselves. Therefore, if you don't value yourself, it's impossible to value anybody else around you. So they come up with these ridiculous ideologies like, oh, black women are bitter, black women complain, this and that, white women don't. I don't know a white woman who doesn't complain. I don't know any woman who doesn't complain, whether she white, Asian, whatever you want to call her. So that's comical to me. Those people that you're usually talking about are the ones who feel the need to down their own women to justify why they're with someone else. I'm all for love who you love. Be with who you want to be with.
Exactly.
But when you start trying to drag your own as a reason why you're with this person, then I'm going to tie that back to self-hate. A lot of them just hate themselves. And they hate their mothers, too.
Oh, that's deep.
I said it again.
We'll get back to that. What about you, D?
So self-hate is a component, but I don't think it's so much self-hate. I mean, there's self-hate that goes on there, right? But you got to think about it. A lot of these people come from lower income neighborhoods, didn't have access to, like, let me say, bad girls, bad women, bad chicks, right? So as you move up in the ranks and make more money, you're exposed to new people, new things, new experiences. And when you have money, people come to you who wouldn't come to you before in your previous situation.
Yeah.
So part of it is, oh, snap, this is new. I have access to this. This is a new experience to me. I never did this before.
Yeah.
And you got to look at it that way. Some of it could be self-hate if these people are spouting black women this, black women that. I think it's more so just they have more access to people, more access to a new type of people, to a new type of woman.
What do you think, bro?
I think a lot of athletes or entertainers, they like to they white women because they feel like, and no disrespect to the sisters, that white women don't have motives. They don't have motives.
What?
I have to disagree, but I gotta let you finish your thoughts. Yeah.
White women don't have motives, right? So sometimes when you do go to a new environment, like when you first get to college or you might start dating white women, and then you see that, wait a minute, she's not complaining as much. She's holding me down. She's helping me. She's doing certain things. Not saying black women don't do that. You see what I'm saying? So they say to themselves, you know what? I like this situation. She doesn't care that I don't have money. No.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't care that I don't have money. She doesn't even follow sports like that. She's financially stable already. A lot of times, then that security, they lead off to white women because they say, you know what? I know if things go wrong, she's not coming for it.
So,
and that's the honest opinion.
I respect everyone's opinion. I highly disagree because I also feel like,
me too.
A lot of times, and not necessarily because of white women, but a lot of times these women that you weren't exposed to in the beginning have a long play in head. So, either one, they know you can provide security. Two, they know they're going to get in your pockets if it doesn't work out. So I really do think sometimes there's a motive to it. But I also think that there is some kind of poison in some of these men's mind that, I've made it to a certain place, and then they start changing their views of what's beauty to them, what's quote-unquote trophy to them, what kind of makes them part of the big boys. Because a lot of times, these successful people have more successful peers that they try to now match, now live like, this is how he carries himself, so they kind of try to roll in those certain circles. And I feel like sometimes, getting you an exotic or, I hate the term exotic, but, the non-woman of color that you're used to dealing with becomes a trophy to them.
It's a trophy because they're not coming to you if you weren't in that position. If you didn't have money, if you didn't play sports, if you didn't necessarily go to that school, they wouldn't even look at you.
But I do have a caveat as well. Like we everybody in here are college graduates. So we all, and all of us here, I'm assuming, but we didn't go to HBCUs, right? HBCU. Sorry, yeah. So I went to University of Buffalo, where the majority of the people at the school were white people. So sometimes some of these people weren't exposed to these people when they were, in their low economic backgrounds, but now they're exposed to these people, and now it's something different. Now it's something that's different that they choose to date. Now the ideologies I hear about, like, white women are more submissive, white women listen and stuff like that, that to me is this BS. Like, I feel like they tolerate a certain form of manipulation from women outside of, women of color, from other women, and then they think that it's submissive, but it's just like these women get them to do whatever they want to do anyway. A woman of color usually gives it to you raw and straight, so some men don't want to hear that. Some men don't want to hear what they need to hear. But these other women kind of are more manipulative as far as how getting what they want done, and they think, oh, that's submission.
I want to get back to the motives thing, where you said that white women don't have motives. First of all, they do, because they wouldn't even know who you are if you didn't have the money. So that's the motive right there. They make sure that they're with somebody who is financially secure, and I feel like that's where they have black women beat. Because one day, this was like a year ago, I was it might have been Starbucks or something like that, and I heard I was eavesdropping on these two white girls having a conversation, and she was talking about why she was leaving her boyfriend. And it was the most simple, cut and dry answer. She said, I don't believe in him. As opposed to a black woman who's the type to fall for a man's potential, and she'll hold him down, and she'll build his resume, and she'll try to help him move ahead. And here she is saying, I don't believe in him. she's not going to move forward with you if she feels like you cannot keep her financially secure. So that sounds like a motive to me.
I had to combat that only because I know in high school, I was always chasing after, me personally, I was always chasing after Caribbean girls, especially Haitian. I'm a Haitian man. I was always chasing after Haitian girls, not the black girls and things like that. And I always felt like a lot of the girls around the time was chasing the D-boys and the more flashier dudes
with
than
money.
the regular.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, these.
But that's high school though.
No, but high school and into
Overall.
college. A lot of times, these young men who don't have anything, and you know what? Some of these women, white women or women of other ethnicities, see the potential in that man and cater to that. And sometimes they feel like the sisters who they tried to holler at was just playing them because they wasn't already established. Let me get.
Listen, and listen, at the end of the day,
Because you was an athlete.
at the end of the day,
I
I played college basketball, and I went to school where a lot of us football and basketball players, we dated white women.
Yeah.
It's not, and we have black girls in our school. What you call it? Trust me, financially, they don't care what you bring to the table. It's, if they generally,
This was college?
this was college.
Okay.
This was college. This is not.
Okay, so
And
this
the
is not
majority of
adults.
them-
All right.
listen,
a majority of
financially-
them weren't going to the NBA or
Well,
the NFL.
yeah, majority of us wasn't going to NFL, NBA, what you call it, and they held us down. Like, it wasn't a financial thing. It was basically, I like this guy. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I know from experience, because even when I graduated school, I had somebody coming almost 1,000 miles from PA to New York all the time to come see me because she wanted to make the relationship work.
So
But we talking about getting on
Yeah.
and then moving on to outside of your race, right? But before you were in that situation, did you date white women before?
I dated white women in high school too.
All right.
So I got the experience to talk about it.
I'm more so talking about just established adults. So if you're
Yeah.
talking about established adults, how many established white women do you know are in relationships with broke black men?
I don't know any.
0.
How many? How many do y'all know on the live stream? Because I don't know any either.
Yeah.
So
But
'Cause-
how
'cause-
many established black women have you heard of in relationships with broke black men?
a lot.
Yeah, I heard of that.
A lot.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah, because we're talking about when you get to that point, not necessarily through life. Because
I get it. I get what
Yeah.
you're saying, but
But
it's-
it kind of leaves, because it's kind of a psychological thing, which I'm going to lead to my next question, is because we carry scars, we carry baggage. So some men, it's just like when I didn't have nothing, these sisters was dissing me. So now I got a little something. I'm not going to go back and give the sisters the love. I'm going to give some other people
It is.
love because I don't have no disdain or no history
yeah,
or any bad taste. So my next question is and this kind of goes into the movie, like, Get Out, with the whole sunken place kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And my question is there some kind of King Kong complex in some of these successful men? And you know how King Kong has a lot of subliminals, that movie, in it.
Yeah.
It was showing, the black man's uncontrollable rage to try to gather the American beauty, the white woman. So do you think some of these men have some kind of social defect or psychological issue where it's just like they're running to this woman as a sign of confirmation that they've made it, like a
Yeah.
trophy?
to a certain extent, yeah.
I
To
mean,
a certain extent,
a trophy, I mean, yeah, it's pretty to look at, but at the end of the day, it's just a piece of plastic.
Yeah.
Because that's really what a trophy is. Isn't that what it's made out of? But as far as race goes, we were talking on our show previously on just vanity. The idea of the standard of beauty in America is a white woman with black features. Your average Kim Kardashian, and not her personally, but just in general. It's the
Or
white
even her
woman
younger sister.
with the curves, with the
Who?
lips.
No one gave no love till she started altering her
Exactly.
body, and then all of a sudden now.
Yeah. You know what she
Kylie's the
got?
hottest
Black
thing.
features.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So I do think they have been brainwashed with these images on what beauty is. And then they chase those images. And then when they finally get it, they feel like they've made it. So there definitely is a King Kong complex.
What do you think?
He don't like me.
No, I don't know problem. I don't know problem with this. I think what she's saying is a little bit true, but I also think is like when they get the newfound success, they get exposed to something different.
That's
And
exactly what
that's
it
what it
is.
is. They're exposed to something different. So when they're exposed to something different, it has nothing to do with just white women in general. You could be Indian, you could be whatever. They're exposed to something different. Sometimes a black man, he won't date. He don't know how to date a white woman. He don't even know how to talk to a white woman because he's never been in that community or that environment. So now he gets to be around that environment because he made it. He's with different people. So now he's like, you know what? Let me try this. Let me see what's going on in this field. If he wasn't exposed to the community, or he just was based on the African American community, he doesn't know how to talk to. There's some black men don't even know how to approach. You can't approach a white woman the same way you approach a sister. I'm telling you. I'm telling you from experience. No disrespect, sis.
You can't.
I dated both, and I'm married to a Haitian Dominican black woman. So I ain't.
It just doesn't make sense to me because.
But what I'm saying
go ahead, finish.
What I'm saying is, if you're not exposed to it, then you don't understand what's going on. But once you get that exposure to it, you might want to try that. And it has nothing to do with white, black. It's just about being exposed to it now.
Why do you feel that you can't? What? Wait, I got flustered.
Did I throw you off?
What? Yes, you did.
Okay.
Why do you feel that there is a different way to talk to a black woman than it is a white woman?
It is.
You can't.
When you approach me,
But you can't approach any woman of any different. You can't have a cookie cutter approach to women. Period.
how would you approach me?
What you mean? How would
you approach me?
I mean,
As opposed to a white woman. Somebody tell me the difference. How would you approach
All right, so
me?
I'll tell you, because just knowing you and seeing you around, you're a very pleasant person, but sometimes you have a very
I'm
tough,
pleasant?
Yes.
Thank you.
But you have a very tough look to you. Like, if people don't know you, the look you have is kind of strong. I don't want to use the term, resting B-face.
How would you approach me?
Say, I'll pay all the rent.
I always say that here.
That's
But to me,
different.
I kind of do my research before I speak to someone. Like, if I saw you just now, just how you are, I would speak to, okay, this sister's wearing her hair natural, so I'm going to speak to that.
Okay.
I see the African pendant, so I would speak to that. I would find something like that to see if I could, like, oh, that pendant is very nice.
Okay.
Have you been to Africa? And start conversation that way.
Okay.
But to what he's saying is just that it's certain little things that, interests, like trying to gain commonality, common interests. If you haven't grown up in an environment where you've been exposed to white people, it's hard to be like, I'm going to talk to her about such and such. But if you, like I said, there's a couple of things that just off the back that I seen of you, I'm like, you know what? You have a nice complexion. There's certain things I can speak to you about and then try to garner a conversation.
Okay.
But if you don't have that commonality with a woman, a white woman or a woman from another nationality, then you have to approach them differently.
Okay. So how would you approach a white woman? What's different?
what do you mean?
It's
Because you
it's really cultural. Like he's saying, everybody is raised differently.
Yeah.
Everybody has different experiences.
Right.
So you try to speak to those experiences. The black and the white experience is different, and you can't ignore
True.
that. It's like let me give an even more extreme example. Say if
Okay.
you were speaking to someone in the hood on the corner versus a businessman on Wall Street, it would be a completely different approach on how you would present yourself in the conversation. You wouldn't use the same tone. So now let's take it to a more practical example of just a black and a white woman.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't use the same type of mannerisms off the bat if you don't know what type of person you're dealing
use
with.
the same kind of language, the same kind of colloquialisms. It's like a completely different
Certain
approach.
slang you might not
certain
use.
slang you might not even
You
use.
understand? Relationships is about being a salesman. You have to sell yourself according to the population that you're selling to. That's why the whole friend zone perspective that they always call me friend zone Marv and stuff like, because I've always had to sell myself, so I kind of do research, and sometimes while you're doing research and trying to gain certain points, you kind of wind up in the friend zone.
Here's what it might sound like, and tell me if I'm right on this. When we say approach a woman differently, you think that we are kind of saying cater to one woman a little bit more than the other, or give certain attentions that you wouldn't give to a black woman. Is that what you kind of interpreting it as?
It sounds like when I think of a guy approaching me, I just think of him approaching me, just greeting me, saying hello, how are you? I didn't know that there was a way to do that with a black woman and another way to do it with a white woman.
It's just how you start a conversation and get a conversation going. It's not like you're a completely different
And
person.
it's a vibe,
100%
too.
true.
And another thing that's also is like, okay, a black woman is approached, especially an attractive black woman is approached by certain kind of, pickup lines and approaches and stuff like that. That sometimes, especially in New York City, because I've been all across the country, and women of New York City, it's just they have a tougher exterior.
We have to.
Granted, I'm not even going to argue that. So, you have to approach a woman of color with a sort of a different approach, a more like, a gentle, but at the same time assertive, and like, I have 30 seconds to do my sales pitch. Where I've been in other places like Houston, I love Houston. A woman could not find you attractive at all, but just because of her southern hospitality, she'll give you 5 minutes to just discuss what you want to talk about. You got a you got a minute with a woman from New York.
Our experience
and
is
if in that
different.
first 15, 20 seconds you didn't say
that's a
something
fact.
that was worthy,
That was
it's
catchy,
a wrap.
that's a fact.
Are we allowed to take live stream comments?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
so Anella just asked, so which one is more intimidating to approach, a white woman or a black woman?
Neither.
To me, it would be a white woman because
Okay,
The
you
way-
said neither, you said white. Okay.
the way that this country is now, I don't know anybody's agenda. I've known there's some
You don't
there's-
trust nobody.
Listen, there's some white people that I've known for 10, 15 years until Trump came on the scene. I never
You
would
saw their true
I
colors,
would
right?
never would have known that they felt certain kind of ways. I'm married, so I'm not in the game, but I always say that to me, I had to find a commonality between me and the person that I'm approaching.
Okay,
you know?
so you're saying the
Like,
white woman would be more.
Even my wife that I'm married to, she's Puerto Rican, and she doesn't look like your prototypical Puerto Rican, which that is wrong to say. But the stereotypical features of a Latina that you would think. My wife doesn't possess that stereotype, but her love for family and culture is what really kept me like enamored with her. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing to me is just like I haven't observed the white culture and family structure to feel comfortable with approaching and dating a white woman just straight off the bat.
Okay.
So I definitely would approach it differently because I would be a little more skeptical and would have to observe how she is with family. What do you think?
Who's more intimidating to approach, black women or white women?
Black women, because
Wow.
put it out there. I date both of them. Like I said, I'm married to a black and Hispanic woman. It's nothing about that. It's because a black woman, even when she's being approached, you could be just giving a compliment sometimes, and she's taking it as, "Why are you talking to me?" Sometimes,
It's real out there.
That's on an individual basis. That's
Hold
on
on,
an
hold
individual
on. No.
basis.
I'm not. It's not. It's definitely on the individual. But sometimes that's the attitude you get, especially in New York City. You could be just saying something nice. Everybody's not coming, giving you a compliment to try to talk to you. The way she turns him down is gonna make her feel that.
Okay.
What you call it? Sometimes when you approach some white women, this is from experience. I'm not talking about everybody. When you say everybody, that's something that's
Yeah,
I'm talking from experience.
We're not generalizing. Okay.
Yeah. So so you could give the white girl a compliment, even if she's not interested. She might turn you off. Polite.
Oh, okay. So
Polite.
I asked a question and got 3 different answers. Nice.
So we're gonna
Nice.
move on to this topic, but I want to let you close out as far as how you feel about that. Do you think that's a strained ideology to say that approaching a woman of color versus a white woman is different?
No, we're women. If we like you, we like you. Approach us regular. You don't have to, oh, well, that's a black woman, so let me turn on my black woman approach. Oh, that's a white woman. Let me turn on my
It's
white woman
not.
approach.
You know what?
Just
let
say
me say
hello,
it's, let me
how
say
are
it's
you?
not approach. It's not necessarily approach. It's more so conversation.
That's exactly what,
I'm-
that's
I'm-
what I was going to say.
The conversation is going to be different between a black and a white person.
The
But
conversation
a
might
black
be
woman,
with the approach. Just greet me.
Yeah.
Just say hi. How
yeah,
are you?
it's going to be the general stuff. Hey, how are you? But
Yeah.
the conversation is probably going. I'm expecting a different conversation if I speak to a
Of
white
course,
woman.
that's 100%.
So
But- But black women aren't more intimidating. Black women
I definitely don't think so.
are definitely not.
To me, it's just like
shouldn't.
I have the ability to have conversations, so I'm not gonna be like, "Yo, shorty," and hit you. You got a fatty? I want to know what's good. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna try to speak to your mind even before if I know you're intelligent or not. And whether it works or not, that's a whole nother story. So I want to move on to another topic that's a little controversial. And, you know, I'm going to mention the clip in the second question that made me think of this topic. But the overall topic is, he gave you a baby but wouldn't give you his last name. In our community, it's a lot of baby mothers versus wives.
Okay.
And I want to like kind of dissect that situation and see if we can further have conversation about that. So my first question is, why are there so many baby mothers and not wives in the African American community?
Who going first?
I'll go first. At a real high level, and I'll pass it right away, and then you could pass it back. It's just the destruction of the black family. All of this is just a result of what we went through. It's a result of our experience. To remove the black man from the house, to make the black woman undesirable, to essentially break down the black family. Now, how we respond to that, we're non-committal. It's so much. Like, we don't think about family anymore. It's more about ourselves. It's more about what we want to do, what we want to accomplish. We don't think in terms of community or even family anymore. Right? So I'll leave it there for now.
Why do I think there's more children's mothers than wives? A lot of us come from single parent homes. So we're used to seeing, whether it be our fathers leave or just seeing our mothers there the whole time. We have so many single parent homes in our community, so we're used to not seeing the idea of marriage or the idea of just a two-parent home, period. So we've kind of gotten used to that and said, well, my mother did it, so I could do it too. And then you got the guys who think the same way. Well, my mother raised kids on her own, so she could raise these kids on her own. Yeah, he'll be fine. So they walk out. That's one reason. And I feel like another reason is a lot of women are not requiring men to marry them. They are okay with just having his child, and they assume that, okay, well, we're together, whatever that means, with this child, so maybe he'll marry me in the long run. You have to require him to do it. And I feel like women need to smarten up when it comes to that stuff. He's not marrying you because you're not requiring him to marry you.
What do you think?
I'm finally going to agree with her on something. Yeah, she's 100% right on that. I think, especially in the African American community, they don't have the right blueprint, right? So if you're coming from a single parent home, you're not going to know that the fact that you got this girl pregnant, you should be the next step is you should be trying to build your family and move to marriage or work on something. You just think it's normal. Yo, she pregnant. It's cool. I'm going to take care of the baby. You don't require to say, you know what, let's make it work to have the family. Because sometimes if you don't come from the Brady Bunch, you're not going to know how to experience, how to go about that. So I definitely feel like what she said with the single parent home, it definitely affects the dynamics of what's going on, of why people just becoming baby mothers instead of wives. And then also, a lot of men don't know how to make a woman a wife because he doesn't have the foundation or
I want to.
They can learn.
Yeah, I want to deconstruct the whole situation.
You gotta be a willing learner to learn, though.
Yeah,
even further. That's true. I feel like, to be honest with you, there's so many of us in the African American community who don't truly know what they want in a person that they pursue. That so many people are starting situations with people that they don't know anything about. They don't know anything about their values and foundation. So we chase after people for superficial reasons, or we don't have real communication on what we want from a person, and then we wind up in situationships. Sometimes people are staying together because one person needs the other person just to hold them down. It's so many people who don't really know what they want in a partner, and we kind of get into settle situations. And then when the situation happens, I wish I had like a study behind it. The situation happens when people, you become pregnant. Now all of a sudden it's just like, you know what? I'll have the kid with this person, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life with this person. Which is a weird dynamic because to me, weird. Having a child with someone to me is more important than just being married to a person.
Why?
You think so?
Yes, because a marriage is a bond that you know what? You had ideology. I love this person. I want to spend the rest of my life with the person. But having a child with the person is permanent no matter what the situation
You got to
is.
make it work, regardless.
Marriages nowadays is like a phone contract. Maybe it'll last 2 years. Maybe you might break it before this.
That's a fact.
But having a child, if I chose to have a child with you,
It's a lifetime
I'm gonna
contract.
that's a lifetime commitment to the person.
Yeah, a lot of people are having children without even thinking about that. Like irresponsible sex, sleeping with people who they don't even intend on being with, and being
Exactly.
irresponsible. So they're having children with people who they don't even see themselves with.
So how
So the relationship is gone before it even starts.
and that's the crazy dynamic I don't understand. People are taking risks and having unprotected sex with people who they don't see as a possible long-term answer in the relationship. So how are you even taking these risks?
It's fun.
It feels good, but you got to be responsible.
They don't know themselves.
Yeah.
And if you don't know yourself, then you're not going to know what you want in a partner. And your
Exactly.
relationship is not going to work if you don't know who you are and if you're not established. So people need to stop getting themselves into these adult situations, i.e. having a child. I always say this to people when it comes to having children. Raise yourself before you raise somebody else.
Exactly.
Learn who you are before you bring another person into this world. Simple.
And too many, like you said, too many people engage in casual sex, casual sexual relationships, and not people who you feel is a quality person. We chase so much of the physical intimacy that we don't think about, like, if I do wind up with this person for the rest of my life or obligated to this person, do I even like this person? How many people out here having sex with people you don't even like?
A
But
lot.
the sex
A
is
lot,
good.
a lot.
It feels good. She
You
got
look
a
certain
fatty.
way, yeah.
He got a big joint, so you like getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, so many people approaching relationships with that kind of mindset. That's why we have so many broken families.
And that's why
Besides
we
for
lose.
the other factors of, so many men being incarcerated, so many men being lost because of unfair justice rules,
But
or the
when-
drug dealing, or different kind of nature that brings the black man out of the family. Go ahead.
But like you said, the casual sex thing, you don't go in and say, I got a long-term plan with the person, right? You go in there and say, I want my nut for the night. I want this for the night, and I'm good. And then next thing you know, you have a baby, and then you mad that you're having a baby with that you don't even know the person. Then you get mad for the consequences that happen. But having a baby is not a joke; it's a serious situation. So when you're doing that, you don't think about it long term, and that's how people get affected.
So this is the next question I wanted to ask, and I watched a video of Dr. Umar Johnson. Everyone knows Dr. Umar Johnson.
I know who he is.
And he said something, and then someone was asking, like, what do you think about it? And he was saying how, and that's what made me talk about the topic of he gave me a baby, but he didn't give me his last name. In the video, he said that so many men don't marry their baby mothers because they were made a father in a circumstance one they wasn't ready for.
Yeah, I saw that.
Two, they didn't choose. They didn't want to have the child, but it's a woman's right for her body. She chose to choose the baby, and now she's the baby mother. But I took it one step further. A lot of times, men marry other women who have children that's not theirs, and he made that woman a wife, where he made his first child mother just his baby mother. So, to sum it up, Dr. Umar Johnson said these men chose to make the woman that they married their wife. Where a lot of times men are made baby fathers in situations that they can't control. So do you think that's the reason why a lot of men just don't marry their baby mothers? Because I don't want to say forced, because anytime you get into the bed,
You're
you
not
was a
forced.
responsible
Yeah.
party,
It's
right?
two
But
parties.
they kind of, in an unconventional way, became a parent, and that's of course there's a lot of bitterness to not marry that person.
Yeah, that's bullshit, man. Like, if you don't want to have a baby, don't have a baby. Like, you know what you're doing when you're in that bedroom. So that's bullshit. I understand the concept of being trapped. Maybe someone lied, said they on a pill or something like that, but you know what I mean? It's not the woman's fault that she got pregnant.
Yeah.
So
We know-
that's BS to
He
me.
knows the consequences of if you have sex without a condom, what you thought you was going to get? A flat screen TV?
Yeah.
Like, you know what the consequences are. So I don't really buy he was forced. No man is forced into nothing. They
Yeah.
do what they want to do, and that's just it.
So do you think it's more of a timing thing on why men don't marry their baby
He wasn't
mothers
ready at the time.
versus sometimes marrying another woman who has a child that's not
Yeah,
his and makes us a wife?
he wasn't ready. When the baby was conceived, he was caught in a moment. Didn't really prepare himself for a baby, and so he just went about it accordingly. It's like now she's just a woman who I was with who has my child, not someone who I want to be with.
Okay. So what do you think?
I think it definitely plays a part. Sometimes he's not ready, but also I think it's like sometimes the person being in a relationship and the relationship going great. Now, the man might think that was this her thing the whole time? This is what she planned to do, to have a baby with me, and now he feels like, hold on, I'm not gonna marry her just because we're having a kid. And then he gets into another relationship, and then he feels like if she already had kids already, which he could just, you know what, I'm gonna make her my wife, because he doesn't have to deal with the stress factor of it, of his first relationship. It does. Listen, it is very weird, but that's what happens sometimes. He's like, hold on, was that her whole thing the whole time? She wants to get pregnant for me because she knew I wasn't ready. Because those conversations.
But you knew you weren't ready either.
Those conversations those conversations you gotta have that early in the game when you start a relationship. God forbid, we have a kid. You know, you gotta have if this is getting serious, you gotta have those kind of conversations, right? Mm-hmm. So
true. Let me just break it down a little bit. Like, we're men. We know when we're about to come, and we know we don't have a condom on.
That's true.
But you could get impregnated by pre-cum.
No, you can't. Yes, then I got mad kids somewhere.
It can happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gynecologists will confirm that it can happen.
Because also, we register coming also by certain feelings and stuff like that. But sometimes we already started the process before it registered to our head that we're coming.
Word? Yeah, well, then I'm special.
Just a side
anybody on the live stream, any y'all ever heard of anybody getting pregnant off a pre-cum?
I have.
I never.
I have.
And just like
Call them up.
Sidebar, this is
You think I'm lying?
but this is a sidebar, just like how the whole drama with, I don't know if you watch Insecure, on how when he ejaculated in her face, and he kind of gave her idea that she was coming and stuff like that, but he couldn't time exactly when it was coming, but he gave her a kind of a warning, and it just came out kind of thing. But that's, so another thing is just, to me, it's like so many people, how we was talking about earlier, are having irresponsible sex. So it's just like, how do you sleep with someone who you can't say in the back of your mind, like, yo, if I have a child, I'm going to be screwed. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times you see a good-looking person with a terrible baby father / baby mother, and you wonder, how did that situation come about?
Hennessy.
Or just people make bad decisions when they
I always call
drink
it a bad
water.
Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? A dry Wednesday where nothing was going on.
Too much Henny. Too much Henny in the system.
Yeah,
I think it just has to do with not enough self-awareness.
Yeah.
Not enough knowledge of consequences, and people not putting their priorities in the right order. So no one's managing their priorities. They start thinking about the wrong things, and that's how it happens.
Yeah, it's about being responsible.
Yeah.
And
a lot of these adults are not
we
responsible.
got to accept that a lot of people aren't responsible.
Yeah.
You before I close out this topic, you kind of made mention to this, but the last portion of this topic is, do you think there's a bigger societal issue, more families not being consistent of a husband and a wife?
A societal issue, yes, I do.
Yeah.
There's an agenda, like he said, to separate the black family. And that's why we have these images that black men are chasing. And I always hear people make these ignorant comments. I want mixed babies. I want mixed babies. I don't even know what that means.
In the Caribbean culture, some people will be proponent of interracial couples so that the baby has nice skin or a nice nose
features,
or nice hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I want black babies.
Blickety black.
All black.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I don't want no mixed babies. Sorry. Nothing against them, but no.
Wait, but you're...
I'm the product of an interracial relationship, but I want black babies. I said it.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I
said it.
I also think it's a big issue because we always concentrate on how incarceration, unfair drug laws, or lack of opportunity creates the break in the family dynamic. But there's also a dynamic like how we said earlier, how certain women feel that what, I don't need a man to raise my child. I don't need a husband to raise my child. So we kind of develop this dynamic where we don't appreciate each other as a nuclear family. Where it's just that we just like, you know what, F it. If I had this kid, he's not gonna be there. I'm still gonna raise the kid. And we don't, like you said, we don't require enough people to be like, you know what, this person needs to be my husband or my wife before we grow this family. So many people feel like, you know what, either he gonna be with me or not. The train not gonna stop. And that's what develops broken. The broken family also creates further search for identity for the child, right? Because you're always gonna wonder, if mommy's not there, why is mommy not there? If daddy's not there, why daddy's not there? So now you kind of grow up with a disadvantage because you're always searching for self and not having the true picture of what self is.
Yeah, true.
And that affects your future goals. That affects your outlook on family and life because you always feel like you're missing something.
Yeah, somewhere along the line we forgot what a union is, and that it takes two people to raise a child, and that child needs balance. They need a man and a woman. They need that masculine and that feminine energy in the household. But we've lost the art of that. It's like we don't think about what the child necessarily needs emotionally as much as I think that we used to. We're not as conscious of that. It's more about the
What do you think?
I think a lot of it deals with the foundation and the upbringing, right? So if that mother or father is bringing somebody who deal with that, they're brainwashed into a certain kind of way. So a woman cannot teach a man how to be a man, okay? Because like a man can't teach a woman how to be a woman, as vice versa. But it's like it's lacking a foundation. Like if that person's brought up in a single parent home or one of their parents was bitter at a young age, that person might grow up that way. If you grow up in a home where you see that your mother was hitting on your father was hitting on your mother, you might take that anger with you in your relationship because you think it's normal now. So the upbringing leads to a lot of this. What's going on? I don't really need. I don't have to be with him together. It don't matter. I see it all the time. My baby's gonna be okay anyway. I don't need you. You think your priorities are messed up, but no, you do need that person. I'm speaking as a married man. I have a wife, right? And we just had a baby, 10-month-old baby. I can't do half the things she do, and she can't do half the things I do. That's gonna bring my daughter up and be raised the right way.
Right.
So it got to be unity. The unity part is lacking in all places, and that's why a lot of time is everybody feel like they got to be independent now. Oh, I don't need this man. I don't need the fuck it. Fuck it. I don't need her. I'm just gonna pay the bills anyway. She still won't talk shit about me. That's not the answer. The answer is trying to work it together, whether y'all being together or not, for the better of the kid.
And we gotta also remember, children's first role models are their parents. That's the example.
First relationship.
That's the example that you see on a daily basis while you're developing your mind. So a man needs to have a mother to know how he should treat women in the future, how he should value a woman's place. Women also need a man in their family to know how they should be treated, what kind of respect they should be given.
Facts.
We need to have that nuclear family there so we have an example on how to be better people and approach life in a better way. Even when
the relationship is not going well, you don't bash the man or woman when you have a kid because that's going to affect them long term. Even if you know that man ain't paying no bills, he ain't helping you with shit, or that woman is not helping you with nothing, you doing all this. You don't tell the kids that because that's going to affect them long term because they might come up into the same situation thinking it's okay now.
Because that's all they know.
You got people who would disagree with that. Even though I agree with you, you got people who would disagree with that and say if a parent is lacking in a certain area, that the child should know what's going on with the parent. But that's another story.
That's not because it's not. First of all,
maybe when they're older.
First of all,
why they're developing.
Why they developing.
But I agree with you.
You can't take somebody 7, 8 years old, tell them that, and then expect at 18 she's gonna understand the same thing, right? So it's better just to work with each other when it comes to certain situations like that.
So if you have a parent who's not coming to see their child, and then the 7 or 8 year old kid is, where's my father, where's my mother, and this is consistently happening, what do you do? Do you
You have to be honest, but at the same time, you can't warp their opinion on that whole sex, because that's the thing, the mistake I feel a lot of people make.
Yeah.
Like men, and you know, I've gotten into conversations sidewalk and chat and posts with you. We can't say all men ain't shit, black men ain't shit, black men are terrible. We have to say, you know what? I dealt with this person wasn't a good person, because we need to not have the child have a warped perception of, you know, the sex as a whole kind of thing, especially people of color, because we already turn on the TV, turn on the radio, turn to so many negative images of ourselves that we need to have in our home that example that, you know, we're not all this kind of a way.
Right. Right. Same. You can't generalize either gender based off of your experiences.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Because, you know, we're under attack enough.
Yeah.
So the last topic is baby boys, right? And you know, Tyrese, like I said, Tyrese is out here wilding, y'all.
He definitely.
You can
like
do
Jody.
a whole show.
I saw that.
A whole show.
Like,
It could be a mental issue show. It could be financial responsibility show. It could be how you conduct yourself in public. He's just a complete situation right now.
he's definitely playing his
But
character.
it made me think of Jody, baby boy. And we have a large population of men, right? Because of many different reasons. One, not having a strong example of what it is to be a man. Two, just not feeling culpable enough to like carry themselves correctly. That we have a lot of men who are, they've aged, but they haven't grown. They're literally baby boys, right? So my first question is, why are so many men are baby boys and not being men per se?
Because there was no consistent male role model in the household to raise them and give them those, to teach them how to be a man. A woman cannot teach a boy, cannot raise a boy into being a man, right?
No.
She could raise him into an adult to a certain degree and be responsible, whatever, but not a man and how to handle himself as a man. So similar to like baby boy, and you said that your parents are your first relationship, that child looks at the mother in a different type of way. It's an emotional connection, but it's like a relationship. And that connection there, he's relying on that mother for emotional support, almost like he would be a woman. So the baby boy situation comes in if another man comes into the household or whatever, he feels like that man is taking his mother away from him. Not necessarily, you know, he hates the man or whatever. It could be anybody.
Yeah. A lot of these young men out here are looking for a woman to continue the process of taking care of him the way that his mother did.
And that's the problem.
And we have so many people who grow up with the hustler's mentality of, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get by, and sometimes finding a woman to take care of you is another form of how am I going to get by. Did you have anything to say yet?
I did. To piggyback off what Derek said about not having a consistent male figure, you also have the single mother who gave her son everything because she felt like she had to work twice as hard because the father wasn't there. So now she's spoiling him, giving him everything, negating the fact that she's not showing him what a man needs to do. She's not showing him, hey, even though I'm working hard to make this happen for us, there should be a man here helping me. So now that same boy grows up and meets me and expect me to do the things that his mother did for him all his life.
That happened?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And it's not happening.
I'm making sure that you talk about that example.
I'll tell you that right now.
Because you went through a baby boy situation.
That's funny.
I'm just saying.
To piggyback what our guest was saying, I think it's a lack of guidance, right? But I also feel like a lot of times now, parents are being nice to this young man and an individual because at the end of the day, your cutoff point should be 18 years old. After 18, he got to figure it out because I think parents nowadays are giving kids extended contracts, so they feel like they get to 25 This happened. He graduated high school. He graduated college, and now he's going for his master's, but he never worked yet. So his mom is still paying his car note, still paying his car insurance.
He's willing
still,
to adult.
and then next thing you know, now he's 29. He's going for his second master's.
That's a crazy example.
Still didn't have
You smart as hell, but you don't know what life's about.
Still didn't have no job, nothing. But his mom is still paying that credit card. She's still paying everything.
That's the problem.
That man got two masters and his mom's paying his bills.
And you don't know how to wipe his ass.
That's a fact. The cutoff point of 18 years old. Now parents are given extended contracts, so a lot of times it's the lack of guidance, and also it's like you got to give that kid a cutoff point to let them know what life is about. And
even if it's not a cutoff, I would just think that as a child, just give the kid little responsibilities, like hey, pick this up, clean this, help me do this. Just show him or her, like you're supposed to help mommy. That's it.
That's one thing. I've always had small little jobs.
Yeah.
Either before, it was babysitting and then doing working at a dental office. Yeah. Something to give me responsibilities. So all I know is
think about that. Yeah. As soon as I was of age, I was working. So I was working young.
Even some of you 14, had little jobs and stuff.
Of course,
like
but also it's like sometimes it's not about just lack of guidance. It's a lot of these children now, they don't want to look at their parents as their role model or look for the guidance. Like my father, God rest his soul, he taught me the meaning of hard work. He wasn't the best father when it came to certain things, but I know he showed me you got to work for this because nothing's gonna come easy, and that's my mentality. Like, listen, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the best at everything, but I work hard. When it comes to working on getting that dollar provided, I'm gonna do it, whatever it takes. So it's just a lot of lack of guidance, also being responsible to take advice and know that, what, this person's trying to help me in the long run. Yeah. He's not trying to hurt me. That's what I think.
So let me ask this, because, we kind of, in the older generations, in the older mentalities, a woman sometimes wasn't forced to pursue a career. There was this, like, be beautiful, learn to be the best homemaker that you can be, and somehow... I know it don't sound
I ain't say nothing.
No, you made the face.
I ain't say nothing.
Back in the days you was taught, like, learn to be Susie Homemaker so that you find you a golden egg who's gonna take care of you and stuff like that. But now I feel like so many men are out here looking for a woman to take care of them. Is this like a reverse epidemic kind of situation where men is just like, there's so many women doing their thing that let me find somebody who's gonna hold it down.
You mean like men living off of women?
Yes.
Oh, there's a lot.
And it's a lot.
Trust me.
No disrespect. There's a lot of bums out here.
Yeah. I don't want to call them bums. No. Boy sound good.
No. Baby boy, aka bum.
Because
if you
let's have the woman on the phone.
No, I got a lot to say on this.
This is the time.
He wants the woman to replace his struggling single mother. He wants the woman to cook, to clean, to pay all the bills and do the laundry and carry him and clothe him and bathe him.
Burp him.
What?
You might as well have her change your pamper, bro.
So do you think it's a real problem?
Yes.
Like it's growing?
How are you a man asking a woman for money?
Yeah, I don't know.
You
could struggle, as a couple. You could struggle like,
as a couple, but
hold me down. But like men asking for allowances out here.
How are you a man?
Like, need some money on the counter. I need to get.
How are you a man comfortable with a woman buying you things like a car,
although if I was with Oprah. Yeah. I would try to find a way to have some kind of worth in the relationship, but I wouldn't
honestly.
I would take a car.
No, honestly,
of course you would take a car. Y'all ain't shit.
Honestly, Oprah,
the car was extreme.
I definitely take some of her bread, but I still work in her business to show her. Listen, I would go to work in one of her business and work every day.
You would do something.
I would be a philanthropist. I'd volunteer. Like, even if I wasn't working for money because Oprah was holding me down, I'd be the best big brother, mentor. I would be giving back to the community because my stress is not in building.
So you wouldn't be home playing 2K all day.
No. Let me read it. I would never want a woman to take care of me.
But there are some men who are okay with that.
I mean, role reversal in 2017 is real. Gender roles are changing, and it's a problem. I disagree with
that's
it.
Disgusting.
But it's what people are doing, man.
It makes me
sick.
What
people
you
are
got
doing.
That's disgusting.
Men out here being taken care of lovely.
Yeah.
And women are doing it just to say they have a man. They're like, well, at least I got a
It's the
man.
new come
Do
up.
you? You have a
It's the
son,
new-
sweetie.
It's
No
the new
thanks.
come up. So the last question I had, and it's kind of touching on the same thing we just was talking about. Does the change in disparity with women making more money than men, women being more educated than men, or making men want to be kept?
Women are making more money than men? No, I never.
No, it's I said the change in
On the
disparity
right.
because
All
before
right.
it was really large difference, and now you'll find a lot of relationships where the woman is making more money than the man. And
Sorry
that's
to hear
growing.
that.
That's growing.
So, what's the question?
So the question is, with women being more educated than men now, which is leading to women finding more lucrative positions.
Yeah.
Is it changing the aspect for now more men is like, you know, there's women out here who got that bag, I want to be taken care of. Is that changing that, you know, that view?
Yeah.
You know, for me, I'll be speaking to something that I don't know anything of, because I'm not in that type of circle where I know a majority of women who are making more than men, and men are seeking this type of refuge with a woman where the woman is the come up. I don't.
Oh, so you can't relate.
To be
Nah,
honest,
I really can't. That's not. And
That's
the
foreign.
the majority, even if I look at my immediate family, like cousins and stuff like that, the majority of the female cousins
Yeah.
or the women cousins, I got schooled for using female women cousins, are getting more money than
women
than
are
the male
doing.
cousins.
Women are doing their thing. It's props to the women for doing their
especially
thing.
with
Clap
in
it
the
up for
black
them.
community. Black
Women are
women
doing
out
their
here
thing.
getting more money
But
sometimes
Women
than
are
men
doing their
are.
thing, but
I think it's this, right? I think what happens is it's a failure. Like, I wouldn't care if my woman is making more money than me, right? As long as I'm working and bringing something to the table, and also I'm bringing something that's gonna equal our relationship, right? A lot of the times, guys will be like, oh, that woman could be making 150,000. Say you making 40,000, whatever, because she has more education. Which gonna get a second job. If you're not hustling out here, you're not gonna
Yeah.
eat.
You're not
So
hustling, you're not
listen,
eating.
you're not gonna hustle,
Good
you're not
point.
gonna eat. Nobody gonna put plate on your food no more for you. Those days are over.
Yeah.
So and listen, that tricking, that taking care of a guy is okay. Maybe in high school, college, you might think it's cute. When you a grown man and you having that conversation with your boy, yo, yeah, shorty boy, me, shorty that, what you call it? She's not gonna respect you ever in life in that relationship, because she's always gonna say to you, you had nothing before me. And she's gonna downgrade you at one period of time because you never showed her.
That's a possibility.
You never that is gonna be a possibility because you never showed her the true factor of you knowing that how to be a man and support your own.
Yeah.
Your woman could be making 150,000, but if I got 3 jobs, it might still not add up to 150,000. But if it adds up to 95,000 and you hustling and she don't respect
you
that,
working.
then good luck.
As long as a
You understand what I'm
man is
saying?
supposed to work and provide.
Exactly.
It's
And
in
protect.
the man's DNA to
Exactly.
provide.
Yeah.
So when I see men out here just proud to be taken care of, I'm like, what?
Yeah, you got to get out there and work.
If you a maintenance
gotta
man, you
work.
could be a maintenance man, you could be a mailman, and you could work at Home Depot and have 3 different jobs, 3 different shifts, and that woman could be a lawyer making 160,000. If she don't respect that grind, knowing that he ain't never gonna get that 160, even those 3 jobs combined probably, and what you call it, but as long as he's providing and he's bringing something
Right.
to the table, then that's a different dynamics. But these guys are proud of being home and just chilling
nothing.
and letting
Chilling.
their lady work hard, and then they don't even take care of the stuff at home sometimes.
Is he responsible? Is he grinding? Those are the things that we should look for.
Yeah. So, you know, this is the
That was
end
a
of
touchy
the
subject.
podcast.
That was
No,
touchy.
but this is the end. We
That
hours
flew.
up. The hour flies
Yeah.
by, you know. So I'd like to thank you guys for coming on and being wonderful guests.
Thank you for
I
having
No
us.
doubt.
Appreciate the
Appreciate
insight.
Yes.
I wanted to get some of your spicy, have us come back to the spiciness and stuff. So this is the time of the show where I allow our guests to do a shout out, let people know what they got going on and where they can reach out to you guys. So what's up with you, D?
All right. What I got going on? I got a lot. We got some things that we can't really announce yet. But we got some things coming up.
Well, let them know how they could reach.
Yeah.
You can
out
reach
to
us on at the Blueprint Podcast on Facebook, at the Blueprint Live on IG. I'm on Facebook. You can see me in the comments. It's Derek DerekDee. Holla at us.
Same thing. On Facebook, I'm in the comments, Devora Walker. I go by my first and last name. I talk a lot of stuff that
Shit.
gets
Spicy stuff.
that gets people upset, but I don't care.
Tough skin.
Traveler,
Yes.
lifestyle traveler.
Yes, the Black Carmen San Diego. I be everywhere.
When you tell me about the trips, I'm like, man, she don't play. She be out of here.
You never
Yes.
know where we'll
Her
be
passport
next.
got tattoos. Both of you guys. I be like, yo, looking at y'all pictures, like, wow, these people out here.
Yeah,
We be out.
We be everywhere. New York is trash.
Ready to leave soon.
So-
Actually,
But we do have some dope things coming up that are still in the works that we're not going to put out there yet. But you can catch us on Facebook, Instagram,
And when y'all ready, definitely let me know so I can let my
Yes.
people know and
For sure.
promote and stuff
yes,
like that.
and we're the Blueprint Live on iTunes and the Blueprint Live on SoundCloud.
yes.
Yes.
What about you, bro?
Just everyday stuff, you know. Just thankful, taking it one day at a time. I'm thankful for the guests for coming through. It was interesting, you know. But I'm just blessed, you know. Put God first in your life. That's what I try to live my motto by now. So
Right.
I'm just thankful.
And like I said, I'm very thankful for having you guys come on to the show. I want to
Thanks for having us, man.
build our rapport, and you know, whatever anytime I can help you guys out with anything. If y'all have volunteer initiatives, I'm looking to get more involved.
Okay.
And you know, helping out the community
Yeah.
as well as getting things.
And y'all got to come do something with us on a Wednesday.
Right.
definitely,
Okay,
definitely,
that's a
definitely try to come through.
Yeah.
And like
And
always,
I'll be leading the conversation.
cool, and I'll be ready to answer any questions.
It's gonna be interesting.
I'm leading it.
Even though she's too young to be listening to this, I want to shout out my niece Tony, who got baptized today, gave her life to Christ.
That's cute.
She's my hero. I need to do that soon. I'm trying to do that soon. But like always, I always tell people, man, like go out here, work hard, you know, chase your legacy and not liabilities. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna leave your name on this earth. And we out.
All right.
Well said.
All right.
So.
Later.